Hello everyone, and welcome to Formula Racing League. That's odd. Where's my audio? Where is my audio hiding? There we go. And joining me tonight on the cast is the one, the only, the devilishly handsome Cub.
That's such a nice introduction. Thank you.
It's good to have you with us tonight, Cub. So, Cub will be joining me for our casting of the Season 3 FRL Grand Prix d'Italia.
Grazie ragazzi. Forza Ferrari.
Forza Ferrari. So, we've come some way through the championship right now, and at the moment we've got a bit of an interesting situation. So Flex has been very dominant this season. He has just been doing work, but he is not going to be here for this race. His teammate and top championship rival, Camborne, is not here for this race. Right now, Kenny LaFleur has a definite chance to move up and make himself the runner-up for this championship once again. There's a big gap that Flex has been able to build. But Kenny's there, and Rafa's close too, with 125 to Kenny's 129. They're both within spitting distance of this. Oh, we just lost X-Max.
He's qualified for blocking the pit lane. I'm guessing that's the pit lane entry.
I wonder if he was trying to do a practice start, or if he just got disconnected, perhaps.
Yeah. Be right back, 1 second.
Of course. Alright, and now I've got myself into the chat, so I can now read everything and anything that you guys are saying down there. So, at the start right now, we've got Taylor Funk, who puts down a very nice lap. That's let's see, just a 4/10 off of sheer on the mediums. So that's a solid start for him. Fiji's going for a hot lap, let's see. He's still on the out lap right now. But Monza's always a treat. It's always a treat to see people race along this circuit. It's got so many corners. You've got the Ascari right here. This huge, it's almost too big to call it a chicane. The exit is such a tricky corner. It can really be brutally punishing. We've got yellow flags out all over the place. We've got this big, long back straight, and then here we go. The Parabolica. It starts off tight. It just gets a wider and wider radius the further you get through it. A beautiful corner, and a great way to start this lap, as Fiji is going to take us away. He's accelerating up to the very highest speed that his car will allow. 337, can we get 338? Up to 338, breaks down to second gear, and makes his way through Variante Retipio, and then around to Curva Grande. Basically treated like a straight line here. The cars are thundering down at near top speed, and then here we come up to Variante Rocha, braking at about 75 to 50, coming through left, right, and we're through. Now there's a very short straight here as we come up to the Lesmo corners. We've got first Lesmo, and then coming here, second Lesmo is not quite as tight. You can take a lot of speed if you take it to the inside. That was nicely done by Fiji as he makes his way down. Secondly, is barely even a corner at all. He's through it. He makes his way underneath the old banking of the old loop. There's a yellow flag up ahead as we set some very nice times for Fiji. He comes into Ascari. Oh, he's compromised his exit. He's going to go a little bit wide. You heard that lift there. That's going to cost him a couple attempts. But now he is making his way along the penultimate straight. He's coming back up towards the Parabolica. Late braking. And now the power's already back on. He takes it wide, right to the edge of the track, and now he just has to power on towards the finish line. Where is Fiji going to put himself? That is 9th place for Fiji Domo. Taylor Funk, meanwhile, is about to be starting a new lap of his own. Rafa, by the way, has put himself onto provisional pole position with a 121.198. I'll get a little bit of input from Cub since he's got two of his boys who are going to be really going for the points right now, seeing if they can take a chunk out of AlphaTauri, who've really been running away with this championship. That is, of course, Camboard and Flex. First and second in the championship right now. Taylor Funk is beginning. He's going to see if he can get into a nice top 10 position on these, the yellow medium tires. Here we go. Into Retafilio. And out. Nicely done. It's all about getting the traction, keeping the traction, and getting up to speed as fast as possible out of those low speed corners. Really tight for Curva Grande as he comes up towards the Rogia. There we go. Nice little cut over the middle. Oh, a little bit of grass taken there. He's not going to be happy about that. Coming in now. Carries just enough speed. Nice line through the first Lesmo. Second, he's a little bit wide. Oh, and that is almost the end of things for Taylor Funk, but his wheel miraculously holds on, and he is able to carry on. That's Rauro, I think, who, no, that wasn't Rauro, that was, Santi. No, it's Cam. Oh goodness, did I say that Cam wasn't here? Well, paint me mistaken. Cam Bourne is indeed present. So let's see what he can do here. He's set a time on the mediums, and that wasn't fast enough, so now he's going to go out and see what he can do on the softs. Powering his way through. The DRS flap is open as he thunders along the main straight. His top speed is going to be 339, I think. 340! He's running a little bit of a more slippery layout than Fiji is, I suppose. Making his way there, out through Retafilo and into the Curva Grande. I know it's Retafilo, it's only one L, but I like saying Retafilio. It feels more fun to say. But it's also more incorrect to say, so I'm gonna have to deal with that. Cambor, making his way now down towards the Lesbos at the very top of the course. Shifts down to 4th, and then quickly up to 5th as he makes his way around into the next DRS zone. Under the bridge, and coming up, here's the braking point. As he slows it down into 4th, but already up into 5th gear. That is a nice line, carrying so much speed through Ascari. That is the corner that more than anything else makes or breaks a lap here at Monza. And then, of course, the big challenge of the Parabolica. Getting the power on as soon as you can. Cam on pole position by 25 thousandths of a second. Just narrowly pips Prestige. Fiji also with a very nice lap there. And we've got Rafa now coming in. I'm going to assume that this one is actually an in-lap here. Since he's on 2-lap-old tires, and I doubt he'd want to be racing on that one again. But I suppose we'll see. It's gotta be. Nope, he's going out. Alright, so this is a hot lap for RFX. Wait, oh goodness, I completely misread that. I thought that he was not on a hot lap, but that was Rafa with authority, adding another, or rather, goodness. Questionable lines there from Rafa. Gonna bring him to the steward's room later. Joke. It is a joke. Let's see, we've got a couple of people here who are looking to set some times. We've got a really tight bundle of drivers. All going through Curva Grande right now, all trying to get a nice position. Are we going to see a little bit of jockeying for a toe, perhaps? Well, Shear's a little ways behind Rafa. But this, again, this certainly has to be in the lap. I don't want to be made wrong twice. There we go. Alright, Fiji is making his way out. Trying to see if he can get higher. Right now, he's sitting in P6. So let's look at who's out of position. Right now, El Suciodan is going to be getting ready to set a lap, and he is a definite challenger for pole position. He's currently sitting 7th in the championship, but he's only been around for half of the races. If he'd been around for twice as much, he would be right in the running with Flex. But as it is, he's going to be hard-pressed to get himself up into the upper echelons of the championship. Okay, that was not a hot lap. Let's see. Taylor Funk coming through here. Gonna see if he can go better than his current P11. Nice and tight line through here. And Taylor Funk pushes his way up into second place behind RFX Rafa. Alright, and here's Lord Raptor. He made a prominent first showing, but his other two races have not seen him being able to earn any points, but he has been pretty impressive. So let's see what Lord Raptor can do in a hot lap here, as we have 4 minutes left in qualifying. Classic moment where you're not 100% sure if that was the in-lap or an up-lap. I think that was actually just his lap, so I'll move on and actually go with Fiji here. No, that's... he's going way too slow there. That's not a, Who's Can someone not find me someone who's sitting lap? Alright, well this is Taylor Funk coming back in. Camborin on an out-lap. Fiji on an out lap. Oh, Kenny LaFleur with a nice lap there, puts himself P8. Kenny always seems to show up in the races, but his qualifying is often quite a bit off what he can do in the race. I often wonder, and I really need to ask him sometime, do you just like overtaking people? Now to see if this was indeed a hot lap for Lord Raptor. Oh, it's not a lap. There we go. Alright. Fiji setting his way out. He's currently running P7, but they need to have a look at some of the people who might be contenders for this top spot. There's not much time left, so we leave Fiji and Curva Grande. We come to Camborne, who's just coming into the first corner right now. Prestige currently not out, so that would make it his teammate, Nameless Nate, who's just here working to set a lap right now. Ooh, that's not going to do it. Yeah, you can really not get away with cutting those corners too much. El Suciodan going to be setting his way out on an out lap in a moment, I think. Actually, looking at this, this would be an El Suciodan hot lap, so I think we're going to stay on board with him, because El Suciodan is a major competitor who is someone who I would be scared to put a bet on for this race. We know that he's good. He is, after all, our Reading Season 2 champion. Oh. Lifting off. Not sure what that's about. Maybe he's going to set one more lap here. Or is he giving it go to Nate? I don't know exactly what his plan is. But he's certainly not taking a serious line right now. So Nameless Nate, coming along, going to want to get himself out of the bottom positions into the top 10. Of course, there's a big crowd here tonight. So Nameless Nate, oh, he's going into the pits. So yeah, this will be the lap. I'm trying to figure out. El Suciodan's getting the gaslight right now. I hope that things are not gonna go empty for him, but I'm sure he's got his fuel managed. That's Prestige, who's right behind him. So we might have a little bit of a chance to look at the two of them. Kenny LaFleur sets a fastest lap while I'm not looking. And Rafa also starting his fastest, well, his lastest. And we'll see if he can make his lastest his fastest. So the flag is out. There's no more laps for anyone. So let's take a look at the first person who's going to be hitting the line. It's going to be El Suciodan. Late braking at Ascari, and he really compromises his line through there. That's going to cost a couple of tenths. Not what El Suciodan needed, since he's sitting in 10th place right now. Yellow flag out in Sector 2, as that's Rafa in the wall, so Rafa's not going to be doing anything. El Suciodan coming up towards the line here. He's got some greens, and that's enough to put him into P3. But he is immediately bumped down by Prestige, who comes through just behind him. And now Taylor Funk coming up. Taylor Funk into P2. And now let's see what Dubman can do. Let's see. Dubman is not doing something. Let's see what T Goldie can do. Also not doing something. Let's see the McLaren. That's Balzac, who's going to be coming in. So we need to take a look at Red Baron, who's coming. Oh, that is close with Raro. Red Baron, one last chance to move himself up from 15th place, and he is up to 13th position with that lap. Now we still have Fiji, who is coming through, and right behind him, who do we have? I think that is that Kenny? I think that is Kenny. Fiji comes through, and he holds 9th. So, there we have it. Kenny LaFleur, first place, Taylor Funk second, Rafa third, Prestige 4th, El Suciodan ultimately 5th, followed by Camborne, and all of those are within a quarter second of pole position. Then we got Sheer Insanity and Dumpman, Fiji, Domo and Lord Raptor, Raro and Balzac. We'll get back to the rest of those in just a moment. Oh, and interesting, did Kenny LaFleur disconnect there for a moment? There we go. Pointing at the nose. We need to pay attention to his nose if I'm to read that post correctly. So there you have it. Kenny LaFleur takes pole position. And then we've got Taylor Funk, Rafa, Prestige, Dan, Camborne, Sheer Insanity, Dubman, Fiji, Lord Raptor in the top 10. First outside of the top 10, we've got Raro, Balzac, Red Baron, Nameless Nate, Brothertron, T, Goldie, Sandy, Get Dunked, and X-Max, who got himself disqualified early on in qualifying for blocking the exit of the pit lane.
Hello.
Hello, hello. Cub rejoins me. So.
Yes, sorry about that.
All good.
I had
so
to give
has come and
lawyer advice to a friend of mine.
Ah, well, fair. So, standings in the championship right now. We've got, I'd say, 7 drivers who are in positions to potentially get a top finish in the championship. We've got Flex, who's really been dominant this season. He's got 204 points. And of that, he has got, I think, 6 fastest laps and 6 victories. So he's been the dominant driver of the year, but Flex is not here today. So there are a lot of opportunities for the others to make up some space here. Camborne is at 140 points, so he's 64 points back on the leader right now. He has had a rough string of races, only had 1 podium in the last 4. But you know he's got the pace to get something really good done, and he's qualified pretty nicely here. Kenny LaFleur missed 3 races, wasn't here for Great Britain, Hungary, or Belgium. But he was here and got a podium in the Netherlands, and now we'll see if he can carry on that form for Italy. Rafa is right behind Kenny. They're at 129 and 125 respectively. And Rafa's on a hot streak. Lately, he either doesn't score points at all or gets on the podium. And not just on the podium, it's a top 2. So, fun little stat for you. Ever since actually, ever since Spain, Rafa either does not score any points at all, or is better than second. Better than or equal to second, I should say.
That's crazy.
Yeah, so here's the numbers. It's 0, 0, 25, 18, 0, 0, 25, 18, 0, 19. So, it's a certain type of consistency. And if he can just get those zeros filled in, then Raro's going to find himself a big challenger for second in the championship. Maybe even first if Flex finds himself unable to show up for a couple of races, as a 90-point gap is not insurmountable. Then we've got Luke Brax and Raro. Raro has just been, consistent. He's the lunch pail guy. He's just keeps on scoring a couple of points every race, and it just adds up. So his best result this season, he has had 1 second place and 1 third place. He was 4th several times in Hungary and also in Belgium. Would have been 3rd, but there was some really weird stuff, and we ended up rolling back the results in Belgium because of the safety car absurdity that was going on, so we ended that race prematurely. And then Luke Brax, who's always been showing some good form, but he also just can't show up all the time, and that's really harmful for any championship charge. El Sucio Dan is the last of the group who I sort of put as sort of the 7 contenders for, let's say, top 3 positions in this championship. And he missed a bunch of races at the start. He didn't have a single point until Monaco. And he's been having to crawl back from there. But, it's interesting to see if he can start to put on a championship challenge. Cub, we're about to start the warm-up lap. What do you have to say about this race? Anything that you're looking forward to?
Strategy-wise, people that are on the mediums and are close to top 10 are definitely people to keep an eye out for. As if you start on softs and then switch to mediums, your pace is going to be about the same throughout the entire race. Softs and the high fuel load don't add up too well, and your pace is going to be significantly slower because of the fuel load. And the mediums later on, they don't have as much grip as the softs, so you're just going to be, naturally slower than that. People that start on the mediums will have a really hard time with the few initial laps, like let's say until lap 4, that's where they're gonna be struggling against those softs people. But from lap 4 and onwards, that's where they're gonna shine. You have, the fuel load still there, but grip-wise, you're gonna be about the same as the softs, just because of the fuel load. And since you're going longer than the soft people in the first stint, you're gonna be much faster on the softs on your second stint. And you're gonna have a pretty significant pace advantage over the people that will do their second stint on the mediums. That's why I have noticed when we did practice with Rafa that if you start on softs, then the mediums will have about the same pace when you start on the softs. If you do reverse of that, you're gonna be slightly quicker on that second stint. So people that are on the mediums right now, definitely gotta keep an eye out for them.
So, and speaking of hard decisions, no one running the hards, of course. Just, it's not a thing here.
No, hards are absolutely disgusting on this track.
They're definitely not going to give the pace they need. Interesting, Kenny LaFleur is showing to me is disconnected right now. He was having a connection issue a moment ago. I wonder if Kenny is disconnected at the start right now. That could be a bit
I have not seen any disconnect.
Well,
no, he's there. He's not a ghost for me.
That's good. That's good. All right, here we have it. 5 lights and they're off really quickly. It's a good start from Taylor Funk. Oh, the El Sucio Dan has a bit of a a sluggish start there, and there we go. Taylor Funk takes it from Kenny LaFleur as they go into the first corner. Redifilio, here we go, a little bit of a lunge. I see some bits and bobs go flying there. Someone's end wing is having a bad time. Prestige is up a position. Rafa is down. We've got a couple of tumbles later down, but it doesn't look like anyone has been left behind in the dust. So Taylor Funk has taken the lead right now. Raro finds himself down a position. We've got Santi, who's had a fantastic start and is up 4 positions, but right now things are mostly stable as Taylor Funk and Kenny LaFleur are taking it away, building up a little bit of lead here on the first lap. We're going to see if Kenny can make a move on Taylor. Of course, everyone in the top 10 is on soft. He is so close. I think that Kenny is going to try and make a move on Taylor Funk into Ascari right now. But of course, oh, we've got a yellow flag out. It looks like someone had a bit of a moment going, oh, that's a little bit close out of the second Lesmo. There's a collision, El Suciodan and Santi. The 2 Ferraris are both in trouble at the back. That might have been El Suciodan's component that went flying earlier, and there's a VSC out on the very first lap. What do you think about a first lap change onto mediums, Cub? A little bit early?
Yeah, I think way too early for that. You definitely want to just do a one stop here, since the tires were lost enough.
Well, no, we got a couple of people pitting. So
Prestige is in the pits because he lost an end plate into turn 1.
That was prestigious. Well, damn it! If you have a little look at my prediction, I said Rafa Kenny Prestige as my prediction for the podium. So. Once again, our gentlemanly request for a 10-foot safety sphere around Prestige has been egregiously disregarded by the drivers. So we're going to have a little bit of discussion with that. Bring in Michael Massey and have him, crack some heads together, as he's so good at doing. All right, and the race is live once again. Taylor Funk continues to lead Kenny LaFleur. They've got a little bit of a gap back to RFX Rafa, and then from Rafa, we have Camborne, we've got Sheer Insanity, who's closely followed by Dubman himself. Lord Raptor is being chased down by Fichidomo, who's right where he likes to be, right around 7th or 8th place, fighting for position. Balzac behind him, and Raro up into the top 10. Nameless Nate just behind Raro, followed by T Goldie, X Max, El Suciodan, who finds himself penalized after that collision with Santi. And then we got Get Dunked, who is at the back of this lead group. And then we've got the drivers who are further behind. Had to make those first lap pit stops. We've got Prestige, Red Baron, Brothertron, and Santi. Let's take a little look at the tires on those. So Prestige has gone for a first lap mediums. He might be doing soft, medium, soft, I imagine. Same deal with Red Baron, Brothertron, and Santi. Here we go, fastest lap for Rafa. So he's closing the gap a little bit. Kenny LaFleur might have a little bit of a move on Taylor Funk here, but Taylor Funk goes slightly defensive. Fastest lap there for El Suciodan, who has a little bit of space to work with since he was dropped off the back of the pack here. But now he's going to be getting himself caught up just a little bit as we go back to El Suciodan. He's going to try and make his way around. Oh, we've got a spinner. It's Santi, and he loses it in Ascari. Taylor Funk continuing to lead. Kenny is right behind, and we're going to be getting, I think, a little bit of a fight for the lead here. They're not being able to put up a gap, and Rafa has now been able to pull it back in. Oh, we've got Fiji going up the inside of Lord Raptor into the Lesmos, and just behind, we've got T Goldie, who's right behind Nameless Nate. But I think I need to keep an eye on Lord Raptor. See if he's going to... Oh, I just missed a move for the lead there. Kenny LaFleur up the inside into the Ascari, and he retakes it from Taylor Funk. RFX Rafa is right on T-Funk's tail. We're going to see if he can do anything, or if he's just going to play it patient and wait for a nice little draft down the start-finish straight. Cub, we're 3 laps in.
Yeah, this lead, the fight for the lead is not gonna end anytime soon. I think we're gonna see this train of cars until the very end of this race, actually.
Oh, we've got an Aston Martin, but up here we've got to have a look as Rafa has taken 2nd position. Taylor Funk is down another place, and that was Raro who lost it coming out of the Parabolica. Fortunately, he is not too far off of the main group, so he'll be able to fight his way back into that. But there we go, Taylor Funk has lost his position. Oh, he taps the back of Rafa. That was a definite little smooch there. But Rafa gets away. It looks like Taylor Funk's car is okay, so all's well in love and racing. question. Oh, we've just lost Santi. Let's see. Has he just disconnected? Is he frustrated with the situation, or is he actually crashed, perhaps? Well, no time to think of that, because we've still got battles up and down the field, and right now we're being treated to a fight for the lead. We've got Rafa, who's right behind Kenny LaFleur, and he is going to have a nice little opportunity to get a draft on. Why don't we open up and have a little look at his telemetry, see what we've got here. 57% to 90%. Kenny has been saving his deployment. Is he spending it right now? Not that aggressively, no. And RFX Rafa is, and that's going to be costly. He goes up the inside. Kenny LaFleur is not able to do much here beyond hold his own line. And no, look at that. RFX Rafa takes the position, and he is now in the lead. Now Rafa leads LaFleur, Funk, Sheer Insanity, and Camborne. Sheer has just been able to get through on Camborne. Went around on the outside of the second bit of the Reticule chicane. And we just lost Brother John. We've just lost Brother John.
And that's a safety car.
That's a full safety car. Alright, so now it's still awfully early for a pit stop, but I think you could nurse out mediums at this point. I sort of think, like, you know, 20 laps is doable, definitely.
I'm pretty sure you could nurse the mediums, but is it worth it though? We just had a virtual safety car.
Oh, Fiji gets a penalty. Oh.
Aww.
You hate
awful.
to see it. It happens too much with Fiji. This is my message to you. Don't rev up your car quite so much during the safety car. You don't need to keep your engine hot, buddy. There we go. That's better. So, safety car is out. We're going to see what happens here, because all of these gaps that are starting to form are going to get closed up. This is really good news for everyone who's dropped off. I wonder if Santi's back. No, he's still ghostly. But, well, someone can tell Santi if he did just get, you know, frustrated and disconnected. Hey, don't worry, your car's back. Your car's back with everyone else. Oh, Rafa
fakes the
pit stop. And Kenny LaFleur goes for it. Oh, and Cam gets a speeding in the pit lane. So we've got a couple of people who are definitely going for it. We got Kenny, we got Cam, we got Dubman, we got Fiji. Fiji going in, not going to be able to serve as a penalty.
Kenny weirdly going onto the hard compound.
That is a strange move. I'm not a fan. I mean, it does guarantee that he's not going to have any problems with tire wear, but he's on the hard. Well, that throws a wrench into things. Maybe he's... Well, I don't know what he's necessarily thinking, because if you're thinking maybe there's going to be another chance for a pit stop, why not throw on the mediums? Maybe he knows that he can't make the mediums last that long, but nonetheless, that's a little strange.
I know on the last game it was possible to pit lap 1 and take the hards and go until the very end. But you were, by the last 2 laps, you were in the very dangerous zone of getting a puncture. And on this game, I'm not sure if that would still work. I assume yes, but your pace is gonna be really bad compared to literally everyone else out on the track.
Well, everyone outside of the top 6 has now made a pit stop, so the early stops have happened. People are going to be doing 20-lap stints on mediums, or in Kenny's case, hards. Kenny is the leader of the people who have pitted, of course, so that's definitely something. But it's going to be interesting to see how this, you know, he's going to be dealing with a pace deficit all race because of that.
Yeah, I think the 2 people that are in the best spot right now is Max and P3 and Balzac, actually. The safety car actually helps, you know, it helps the Mercedes team because they're still on the softs, but also does help the medium runners as well. Mm-hmm. Because by the end of the stint, those mediums are about 60%. And by, you know, with the safety car, they're probably gonna be, what, 52, I'm guessing? So that's almost 10%, 8% less than if you were going just, you know, pedal to the metal all the time.
And they certainly don't need to do that when they're racing under a safety car. Racing under very large scarecrows there.
Yeah, pro tip on this game: do not warm up your tires until you see the little pop-up that says safety car in this lap.
Yeah?
No, because you really don't need super hot tires when you are just, in a safety car queue and just following the car in front. It just puts, extra wear on the tires. The reason they do they do this little weaving left-right thing in real life is that it's really hard to keep those tires up to temperature. But since this is a video game, it takes, really 10 seconds of weaving left and right to get them up to the optimal temperature.
So the simpler tire carcass model just doesn't quite cut it for F1 2021, is what you're saying.
Yeah, for if you compare F1 to an actual sim, which is not really a fair comparison since this is more of an arcade game than a simulator. Let's take iRacing for example. It takes about a full lap before your tires get up to temperature.
So we've got
sometimes even 2 laps.
Just about to come here, and Rafa is going to be taking it away. Sheer Insanity running P2, and we'll take a look back. X-Max goes a little bit wide there. Balzac, Nameless Nate. Kenny is really close to Nameless Nate right now, but Taylor Funk also potentially has a move on Kenny here. Kenny LaFleur has a big crowd behind him, and a small crowd in front of him. He goes up on the inside. Fiji Dumbo gets a 5-second penalty for serving his penalty. And Kenny is not able to take a position. Nameless Nate, however, is able to snipe Kenny.
So it looks like Rafa about to pull that 1 second gap from his teammate Mercedes, Sheer Insanity.
Yeah, he certainly got a strong jump there. And there is a little bit of a gap that's formed here. Oh, there's yellow flag out. Is that Fiji? Yeah, it looks like Fiji had a little bit of a moment in front of Theo. But he's carrying on, and hopefully he'll be able to get back. Yeah, I hope he was... I'm not sure if he was able to serve his penalty there. Camborne right on the back of Taylor Funk and Kenny LaFleur all over the back of Nameless Nate, who jinks a little bit to the left, a little bit to the right, and ultimately takes the proper racing line into a Scary. Kenny is going to see if he can get a bit better. Oh, El Sucio Dan jumps up the inside of Prestige. Oh, Prestige! Big moment, Prestige! He's out of the race again! Oh, no!
And this is another safety car.
That's another safety car. Well, okay,
and Rafa in the pits.
Pitting. Rafa in the pits instantly. Who else? I mean, not much else. Nameless Nate going into the pits. Well, that's 2 down. Brother John, Prestige, both gone. I don't know if Prestige necessarily wants to co-cast with us again. He did it last time, but safety car's waving people through. Safety car is waving vehicles through, so it's going to pick them up on the next lap. That was very questionable. This is just like what happened in Belgium. I hope that it doesn't do that again. But yeah, the safety car is just waiting for Sheer Insanity, but Sheer Insanity's already through. So it's going to wait for him another lap, I suppose. Well, this is just going to make the tire saving easier and going to make Kenny LaFleur grit his teeth. Since he's not getting... The one tiny advantage he gets is that he can lean on the hards. In as much as anyone can lean on hard tires. But if it's a shortened race like this, he's not even going to get that.
The safety car... I have no idea what I would have done if I was Rafa. It's pretty much an impossible call to make at this point. If you stay out, you are still on worn softs, and you have medium runners right behind you who definitely have a pace advantage over you. But now Rafa is almost well, not almost last, but he's P13 from P1 to P13.
It's a very rough position to find yourself when you are someone who definitely feels like they could be battling for the lead. And Rafa, so often, the thing that gets him is he gets in fights with people he shouldn't need to be getting in fights with. That's the thing that sinks him more often than not. So, in 12th and 13th position, RFX Rafa and Sheer Insanity, both making their way around, and this time it looks like everyone has been collected by the safety car. So, the guys who were out, you were saying, people who look like they're in really good shape, X-Max and Balzac, they are in a nice position here, but they need to have some clean racing come up, because otherwise they're going to have to pit, and they're going to find themselves way down the line, just like what's happened with Rafa and Sheer. Interestingly, Sheer onto softs again. Didn't Sheer start on softs?
He did, yeah.
Alright, well he's going to have to... He's committing to another pit stop then.
Yeah, Rafa is definitely going until the end.
Oh, certainly, yes. 17 laps on mediums makes perfect sense to me. A 10-17 split seems just about like what you'd aim for.
You have a couple of people, actually a lot of people that could be going until the end that are in front of Rafa right now.
Yeah.
Pretty much from P3 to P7,
yeah.
all of these people can nurse the mediums.
And honestly, even some of the people who, like Red Baron has pretty old mediums, but he can conceivably bring it to the end. If he was feeling risky enough. Well, it looks like the safety car hasn't just randomly disqualified anyone, so that's a definite improvement from Belgium.
Just, you know, a couple of claps for Codemasters.
Well done, Codemasters. Well done. Nice patch. 10 gigabytes of no longer getting eaten by safety car drivers.
I'm pretty sure this was under the various minor fixes in the patch notes.
I sort of wonder if there's someone who's watching the stream and they just happen to be following a small little, you know, 20-person league, and they're like, oh my goodness, Chaos said mean things about us. He called us Codemasters. We can't do that. It's a fun power fantasy to imagine that they're listening to you, but here we go. Fiji has caught up, and actually, let's see if Santi's back, or is he still disconnected? Santi is still just a ghost traveling around. So, Fiji is now at the back of Santi, and he has served his penalties. So, you know what, Fiji, he's backing in. Just has to be patient. Don't worry about the ghost, Fiji. Don't worry about the ghost.
Yeah, pretty sure we're gonna get a safety car in this lap.
Oh, absolutely. Unless something's going terribly wrong, we're going to get a safety car notification at any moment, since the entirety of the grid has gathered up. We've got X-Max and Balzac, both of whom have not yet made their pit stops, and they will be leading the way. We've got Taylor Funk, who finds himself in the catbird seat right now. He is right behind them on fresher tires, but he's not quite as fresh as you've got for Rafa and for Dubman. Or even for Sheer, for that matter. Although Sheer has really thrown a bit of a wrench into his own strategy by necessitating yet another pit stop. You don't like doing more than, you know, than one pit stop here. So, safety car is evidently not coming in this lap. Oh, wait, no, it is. Okay, it is. X-Max was just being a little bit weird with how he leads out on the safety car. Possibly not having a ton of experience with that, but we've got positions going up and down as Get Dunked is pitting. That is what's happening? Alright, there we go. So, a little bit of side-by-side here, and Taylor Funk is just bullying his way past Balzac, but Balzac says, hey, I don't have to give up that right now. And Taylor Funk says, well, okay, next time, I guess. And everyone is tight here, as we've got this group thundering around Curva Grande. X-Max building up a little bit of a gap, as we've got El Suciadan here in 6th position, right behind Cam Bourne. T. Goldie trying to make a move around El Suciadan, but it's going to compromise his line, and that allows Lord Raptor to make his way through. Meanwhile, just up ahead, Taylor Funk getting bullied by Kenny LaFleur and Cam Bourne, to say, hey, you leaning on Balzac? Well, we'll lean on you. Up the inside, El Suciadan, Lord Raptor gets a nice little view of this as Taylor Funk goes around the outside. Lord Raptor delivering all of the ERS that he can as he races down behind El Suciadan. El Suciadan goes to the other side. Taylor Funk defends the inside. Lord Raptor's going to see if he can throw something around. Taylor Funk collides! Oh! Lord Raptor has to lift off, and now Rarocopter going around the outside of the exit. Was that off the track? We'll see if he's forced to give it back. Robocopter takes 7th place from Lord Raptor. Now T Goldie coming up the inside. It's all happening here on lap 12 of the Monza Grand Prix as T Goldie is holding the inside line. Rafa and Sheer Insanity in P10. We've got a yellow flag out as we have had Red Baron go off onto the side, but he is still intact, so that's good to see. Fiji at the back of this group, and then we've got Nate, Rafa, Dubman. We're all coming in towards a little bit of a battle in the braking zones here. And everyone makes it through. Oh, Rafa is bumped and turned around by Dubman. Rafa goes spinning. Fiji is through. Santi, disconnected, is coming up. And Rafa, does he have damage? I think he's okay, but he's going to be steamed. And that's the thing. It's Rafa getting into these fights. I don't think that was his false call, though, in that case. But I can't speak as a steward on that. I didn't get a good look at it. So X-Max continues to lead. Sheer Insanity picks up a time penalty, and Bravo makes it through on Taylor Funk. A little bit of a battle here. T Goldie on Taylor Funk as well as they come down, making their way underneath the banking. But it looks like Taylor Funk is now starting to pull away a little bit. Sheer Insanity coming up, but he has a penalty. He's going to have to worry about T Goldie. A little bit of a compromised line here. This is going to give a big opening as he goes very, very wide. And Sheer Insanity is certainly going to be able to take this position off of T Goldie. T Goldie might try to hang it out. No, he knows that that's not going to happen. So this is going to allow Lord Raptor to potentially get back in here. Taylor Funk takes a little bit of a wide line there, and that's going to allow T Goldie to get through on Taylor Funk. Now, they've got a bit of a run. Sheer Insanity leads this trio, but it is going to be 3 wide into the corner as Taylor Funk swings up the inside. Nope. Is it going to be 3 wide? Oh, it's 2 wide. Sheer Insanity holds it. Taylor Funk followed by T Goldie. T Goldie has a little bit of difficulty under traction. Rafa, meanwhile, makes his way past Fiji as he continues to fight his way back up. Lord Raptor has been taken by Nameless Nate. Nameless Nate up into the top 10. A little bit of wiggle left to left through Curva Grande as he makes his way along. And further up ahead, we've got changes of position. El Sucio Dan, Kenny LaFleur. Kenny is losing position. We've got a yellow flag out further back. What is this? I'm not entirely sure what the yellow flag was. Taylor Funk goes wide! And that is T Goldie through. Taylor Funk retakes position. We've just got drivers going up, down, left, and right. Camborne, I think that might have been Camborne that had something happen to because he finds himself down in 12th position. I'd have to watch it again, but Kenny LaFleur is taking position back from El Sucio Dan. X-Max and Kenny leading the race. El Sucio Dan currently sitting in 3rd place, so Kenny not having too much of a problem with those hard tires right now. He is getting stuff done, Cub.
This is just insane right now. You have literally battles everywhere on this track right now.
Absolutely. Well, I'm happy that I've got at least one extra set of eyes with me at this moment, because we've got you. Oh, T Goldie into the pits. Balzac into the pits. T Goldie and Balzac both saying, all right, well, this is the time. So that is going to promote a couple of people. Nameless Nate now up into P7. Dumpman. Rafa is now up into P9 after everything that's happened. He's catching up to the back of, well, I'm sort of tempted to call it the peloton almost. Further up ahead, El Sucidan is right on Kenny LaFleur. He's going to make a dive up into Variante Rogia. And he spins it up. He gets launched. Oh my, oh, Dan, don't do that. Don't do that, my friend. That was disaster for Rafa in Belgium, we recall. He lost a little bit of control there. Backing up onto the track, you never know when you're going to de-ghost in front of people. But, oh, Dumbman himself goes off-roading. And that's going to cost him some positions as now he is dropped down to the back of this group. We've got yellow flags just flickering here, flickering. Whoa! I looked away for a moment, and Taylor Funk nabs a place from Kenny LaFleur. I was speaking a moment ago. What's happened to Kenny LaFleur? Does he have damage? That must have been the incident with El Sucio Dan. Because he's just lost a couple positions, and Raro now finds himself up in 3rd place by a nice little gap. Taylor Funk breaks late and goes very wide. And that is going to maybe allow a moment. Sheer Insanity into the pits. Right, well, that was it for Sheer Insanity's soft stint. And that is going to promote Taylor Funk back up. We've got a yellow... X-Max! X-Max, the race leader! The race leader has spun out! And Raro now leads the race. Rollercopter could potentially take these mediums to the end. I'm sure he'd like a safety car and maybe a chance to pit once more. But Rollercopter, after this ridiculous change of events, finds himself leading the race. Raro ahead of X-Max. X-Max leads Taylor Funk by just a narrow gap, and then behind him, we've got Nameless Nate, El Sucio 10, who's somehow still in 5th. Also, Kenny LaFleur onto softs. He's had enough of the hards. Rafa is back up in P6 of all places. He's actually only one Lesmo behind the leader right now, Cubs, so everything that's happened to him, it is all still on. If I was his engineer right now, I'd just be like, hey, you know, Rafa, it's all good, it's all good. The win is still within your grasp. But there's a lot of people here, Cub, who could be fighting for this win. The battles are going up and down, but right now it's the top 6 that are together in a bit of a group, and then there's a small gap back to Dubman and a larger gap back to Red Baron. Sheer Insanity has made his pit stop, and now he's going to have to be fighting his way back up towards the front. We've got a little bit of a move as Balzac makes his way past Santi's Ghost, and Kenny LaFleur is going to be in behind Balzac. Additionally, Camborn and Lord Raptor in a forlorn fight for 15th, and dropping in, it is X-Max, who's had enough of those tires. He needed to get off of them eventually, and he is out of this battle for the lead for the moment. Nameless Nate, bit of a moment there. I think he made a lunge on El Suciaden, but that's going to allow Rafa through. Didn't get a great view of exactly what was happening there, but Sheer Insanity is ahead of Red Baron. He is able to come out of the pits and hold Red Baron. Red Baron's got 14 lap old mediums. He's not going to be doing very much fighting on that. And Camborn, back in 16th place, sets the fastest lap. Raro has a 5-second lead with 10 laps left. Is that the sort of thing that holds, do you think? Well,
I think he might end up in the very dangerous zone of getting a puncture. His mediums are.
Battle for
oh my
second,
god!
Big battle for second. Oh, Taylor Funk gets just. He doesn't want to get anywhere near a fight with Rafa and Dan.
All of this fighting just plays into Raro's advantage, honestly. Ooh, and you see.
And El Sucio Dan is. He's just surrenders the position.
This was Hamilton Verstappen thing. I'm pretty sure Sucio wanted to go. Wanted to let him go so he gets the DRS on the main straight, but Rafa read that perfectly.
Taylor seeing if he can make a move, but no, he can't brake late enough to outbrake El Sucio Den. Nameless Nate into the pits, and that's going to promote Red Baron into 7th place here. Red Baron having a really nice race after a little bit of misfortune earlier on. We got Get Dunked right behind X-Max, T Goldie, and Kenny LaFleur. Kenny might still be able to make something of this race, but there's a long way up to the podium position.
Oh, and Rafa just hits the wall. Oh no! I think the car is okay. Damage? He literally just hit the wall, but I don't think he's got any damage. Well, maybe some damage that we can't see, but he hit the wall pretty hard.
Slow right now, and El Sucio Dan just races through past him. And Raro is now 7 seconds in the lead.
He dipped his rear left into the gravel, and it just sent him into the wall.
Well, hey, Rafa's got a bit of a run on El Sucio Dan here. I'm sure he's not going to make a lunge, not into the Parabolica. The thing you do is force them into a bad line, and then...
And Raro in the pits.
Raro's in the pits! I guess he figures he can't do this. Okay, well, that makes sense. He is often cautious with his tires, and he's built up a nice little gap, so he's going to come out decently positioned here. This must mean that Red Baron can't be staying out that much longer. Alright, well, Raro is going to be coming out, and he's just going to be in the middle of this group with Kenny LaFleur and Balzac. Oh, no, he's going to be ahead. He comes out, and he's right by X-Max, who comes through, and X-Max...
The battle for the lead is just insane right now.
Yeah.
Taylor Funk making a move on El Sucio Dan, and I think he made it, he makes it stick. Gets into P2.
The road, yeah.
This could end in a... Anyway, honestly.
Whew. El Sucio Dan takes it back through the second Lesmo. And here we've got Kenny LaFleur being chased by Get Dunked, although Kenny does have the tire advantage. Rafa leads. Taylor Funk trying to make a dive up the inside, side by side. Oh, El Suciaden is pushed off onto the bumps, but he holds on to his position. Taylor Funk is going to have to find another way through. Dubman himself, 4th position. Big gap back to Sheer Insanity, and Sheer doesn't have that much better tires. We've just had a moment there for Nate.
I don't think El Suciaden has got DRS on Rafa here. And it's a VSC, everybody pits, everybody pits.
Oh, that's going to be painful for Raro. He just, well, actually, you know what? I think he might come out in the lead here, but it's going to definitely...
And it's a wing change for Rafa. It's a wing change for Rafa, so there was definitely damage.
There was some damage. And this actually puts Sheer, after everything that I was saying was bad about Sheer Insanity's strategy, I am being forced to eat my words at this safety car series of events. Since now we have, with a comfortable set of... Oh, and there we go. Cars still coming out of the pits, and... Well, let's see how that works out for Taylor Funk, El Suciaden, Dubman, Fiji, and Red Baron. Alright, now it is now Sheer who leads, with 7 laps to go. And now, surely, no one else is going to need to make a pit stop. I've been making some long-running predictions. Rauro set me right... Oh, there's a little bit of a moment there as Get Dunked is overtaken by T. Goldie. T. Goldie seizes P6. Just behind, Taylor Funk has taken 10th place from Lord Raptor, but Lord Raptor's going to try and fight back up inside into the first Lesmo. Certainly, he knows that he can't make that fight, not on this tire disadvantage. And El Suciaden says, mucho there you go. Well, it's mucho gracias. Yes, there we go. My pronunciation is terrible. I shouldn't have tried. But, you know, sometimes you have to reach. Oh, there's a moment T. Goldie goes, and that was dangerous, dangerous, dangerous. Coming out of Ascari and cutting the inside so much. Those curves are dangerous, my friends. Get Dunked is going to fight back up the inside, but no, it's not going to happen. Red Baron picks up a 3-second time penalty further back. That's going to make it difficult for him to potentially challenge for a points position here. So Sheer Insanity is pursued by X-Max. Here we go. Get Dunked is going to make a sprint against T. Goldie, and he is through the Ferrari in front of home fans. Oh, but T. Goldie brakes very late, and he holds the position, but the Ferrari is still on the outside. Get Dunked is going to try and hold this, and now Rafa, right behind Get Dunked, up the inside of Curva Grande. Now he's coming up. Is he going to try to make it too? He's got such a pace advantage on T. Goldie. He swings out to the left. He comes through into Roggia. He's got the inside line. Goldie is forced to compromise, and that also allows Camborne to take the position. To say nothing of Get Dunked, T. Goldie just loosens several positions all at once then. Camborne now is the driver closest to RFX Rafa. We've got a little bit of a fight further back as we see Dumbman himself is reasonably close at this moment to Lord Raptor, and Taylor Funk is very close to El Suciaden as he is now coming. El Suciaden takes a tight inside line, he swings right with his defensive move, and Taylor Funk says, I am taking this from you. And that's all it is. Lord Raptor now pursuing, and X-Max is within a second of Sheer Insanity. X-Max has the tire advantage, and he's only got to make it to 9 laps on these. This is a very, very nice position to be in for X-Max against Sheer Insanity, especially with that time penalty hanging ominously, a sword of Damocles over his head. Rauro, meanwhile, after a little bit of good luck and then a little bit of bad luck with the safety cars and with other drivers making mistakes, finds himself in 3rd position with even better tires than X-Max, so there's an absolute chance for a win for Rauro here. And Kenny LaFleur, P4, Balzac, P5, Rafa, rapidly catching Balzac, but Rafa is running out of time here. He only has 5 laps left to make up over 10 seconds. I was saying, hey, things are still looking good when he was 1 Lesmo behind. Now he's 2 Lesmos behind. That's a little bit harder to do.
I think the favorite as of right now is definitely Rauro to win this race.
I mean...
Oh my god, and as soon as I say that, he almost lost the car.
We fully know the power of the commentator's curse, but he's not listening to us right now, so it doesn't have an effect. It's not a real thing. Nonetheless, he is very, very nicely positioned, although he's not going to have DRS this lap. Dubman himself. Oh, we've got Taylor Funk into the wall and out! And
This
is
is
going
a
to be another
safety car. This is a
car.
safety car.
Yet another safety car, and this is a safety car that's going to take us right to the very deadly edge of this race. Balzac into the pits. Camborne stays out. I think it's just Balzac who's going for the pits here. Nope, Lord Raptor is as well. Red Baron stays out. Fiji Dumo into the pits. Don't speed, don't speed, don't speed. That's good. Santi, disconnected, still actually doing okay, disconnected, just cruising around. Nameless Nate, almost a lap down right now, but this is going to get him caught back up. This is not necessarily a reprieve for sheer insanity. Since this is a late race safety car. So we would be expecting that, you know, it's going to release the cars a little bit early. It might not wait for everyone to gather up. And that's just going to leave Raro in a very nice position to pounce. So now it's a question of who is able to show that killer instinct, that precise aggression. Because that's what you need. You can't be clumsy. There's not going to be many opportunities for a little bit of probing and testing here. You need to be decisive. You need to be able to act once and do it correctly the very first try. And you also probably have to do it on slightly unfamiliar temperature tires.
So as of this moment, if we were to finish this race, Raro actually wins it. Just on the penalties.
Just on... Right, of course. You know, I wasn't even thinking of the penalties. Rarocopter, of course, Raro now has no lead whatsoever over Kenny LaFleur. And I know better than to expect anything less than a killer instinct from Kenny LaFleur. He's got
he will be
ability to win. He's got the ability to seize podiums. It's what he does.
Yeah, it's definitely gonna be a hard battle for Raro to win.
Yeah.
But I think he has the ability to do it.
Certainly does, especially if X-Max gets a little tangled in sheer insanity and Raro is able to make it through here. The drivers are gathering on the back of the safety car. I imagine there might be one more lap, but I would like to just see them send out the safety car this lap. The cars are gathered up enough. But who knows, maybe we need first aid for Taylor Flunk. Hey, we've got Zuru Kubaka. Go Rafa! Well, we've got some partisans in here, and this has actually been a godsend for Rafa. Because by closing in that gap and leaving him unpenalized compared to Sheer and X-Max, Rafa is now certainly a good bet for a podium.
Yeah, and looks like the safety car is actually gonna stay out for one more lap.
There we go. Well, I think it's the final 3 laps where the safety car behavior changes, so that does seem to make sense. So Sheer Insanity is on the mediums, and he is now going to have nipping at his heels X-Max, Raro, Kenny LaFleur, and Rafa. Camborne. Well, those are a couple of scary names you've got there. And then we've got Get Dunked and T Goldie, who are on older mediums. They're not really going to be threats for the higher positions. They might get jumped by El Sucio Dan, maybe even Red Baron, Balzac, Lord Raptor. Fiji could make some action here, maybe earn himself a couple of points from 14th. Santi somehow could potentially score points despite of not having been here for the last 25-30 minutes. And Nameless Nate is getting caught back up here. He will be caught up with the Grim by the end of this lap. So he will have a chance to try and fight.
You know, you've got Raro, you have Kenny, and then you have Rafa. So you've got pretty much 2 killers right behind Raro, who are definitely gonna have a go at each other.
And my observation of Rafa is that he'll sometimes make a mistake, but it's usually not a pressure mistake. He'll like make his sort of one little mistake. You know, he'll go wide on a corner or something like that, lose a position or 2. But he doesn't really make pressure mistakes, is what I've found. Like, he's very consistent. I've described him as sort of like kind of getting really lunch pail results. Is like, you know, he's very frequently in the mix. He's not usually someone I expect to win, but he's someone who I'm not at all surprised to see on podiums or doing well. But he's quite cool. Alright,
Yeah,
again.
I think he has moments where he just gets unfocused from what he's doing, and that's where the mistakes happen.
Well,
I don't think it's a pressure thing either.
Yeah, and this is definitely a moment where he is going to be very focused on what's going on here. The safety car is pulling away, sheer insanity is letting it get away. And it's all up to him to take it away. The safety car is... Oh! Oh! That's ugly. Is there a yellow anywhere behind? Well, this is definitely shaking things up. Kenny LaFleur, way up on the inside of Raro from that strange restart. X-Max takes the position from sheer insanity. And there we go. Kenny LaFleur up 2 places on the restart. And now Rafa right behind Raro. Sheer having all sorts of rough moments here as a bunch of positions are dropped. Oh wait, no, that's just Paul's cutting the chicane there. Up the inside, El Sucio Dan on T Goldie, but we need to keep an eye on this battle for the lead as... Oh, that is sheer insanity just lurching over the curbs, and that is going to allow Rafa through. So now, Raro effectively... Wait, hang on. Rafa was... No, that was Kenny. That was Kenny. Alright, so, right now, we are looking at a potential Kenny, Raro, Rafa podium here, and Rafa wants to make him 1 position higher. I don't know if Raro has it to defend this. It's going to be late braking. And that was a bit of a compromised entry. Maybe Sheer is going to try and make a comeback on... Oh! They touched!
Yeah, Rafa almost just lasted on the exit of Ascari.
And now Camborne is coming right back on these two. X-Max and Kenny LaFleur are leading what is currently a Red Bull 1-2. And X-Max right now just needs to get away. He's got to fly away. Yeah. Sorry. I'll stop with my song lyrics. It's only a 3-second penalty, and that could absolutely get gapped in this final lap. RFX Rafa right behind Rauercopter. Kenny LaFleur pulling away from Rauro. Let's see if we're getting any moves here. We've got
2.8.
Nameless Nate through on Dubman. T Goldie through there. Camborne very close to Rafa. Rafa very close to Raro. Sheer Insanity needs to do something with that 3-second penalty, but it's the last
gap is
lap.
already over 3 seconds.
X-Max is here. Kenny LaFleur is right behind him. There's no reason at all for Kenny to try and pass his teammate beyond further style points, but we do know that he's a very stylish fellow. Alright, so X-Max leads. It's the final lap. Kenny LaFleur in P2.
It's all gonna be about this Ascari exit pretty much for Rafa. If he doesn't get it, he doesn't get it.
He's got it. Raro is expending everything that he can.
That gap to Max is over 3 seconds now.
It is.
And he goes right into Parabolica.
Oh, this is going to be really close. This is going to be very close. At the line, denying him the podium. Rafa takes the position from Raro. They're so close, and they've got enough of a gap that Raro's dropped to 4th. Rafa takes P3. Kenny LaFleur is the winner. X-Max 2nd. Rafa, Raro, Camborne, El Sucio, Dan, Sheer Insanity, and Get Dunked. Fiji just behind there. Cub, we are finished 27 laps that just kept on coming back together as one crash after another brought it together. And X-Max, your driver of the day, well deserved, I say.
Didn't X-Max start all the way from the back? Wasn't he the one that got disqualified in qualifying?
Yes, he did. From the stern. And Kenny LaFleur, with his 2nd win, he hasn't had a win since Australia. And now Kenny is putting his name onto this championship challenge and signing it. There you have it. Kenny LaFleur takes the game, takes the win. X-Max P2. Rafa is able to deny Raro at the line. There were moments where we were saying, hey, does Raro have this win? Then we were saying, he's surely got this podium, but no, it's Kenny, it's X-Max, it's Rafa. And then for the rest of our point scoring positions, I'll repeat, Rauercopter, Camborne, El Sucio Dan, P6, Sheer Insanity, P7, Get Dunked, P8, Fiji Domo, 9th place, and Lord Raptor, the final point scoring. Nameless Nate just denied by a second and small change, followed then by Balzac, T Goldie, Red Baron. And there are quite a few starters here, so Dubman himself and Santi also able to finish this race. It was Taylor Funk who brought out the 3rd safety car, Prestige who brought the 2nd, Brother John who brought the 1st, and those 3 safety cars, 3 drivers lost, 3 races totally rejuvenated and transformed. So, Cub, what do you have to say in reflection on this race?
I think that the Rafa just pulled a boat ass. And it's a 1-2 for a Red Bull, and I think that's the first one in this league, right? I don't think.
Yeah, it certainly is, yeah. Since Jail Patel has been running the other Red Bull for a lot of these, and he currently does not have. I think his best finish was, if I'm not mistaken, a 5th place in Portugal. So yeah, that's our first double podium for the Red Bulls.
Yeah, that's really good. That was a really fun race to watch, honestly.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, I think we'll want to get up and take part in a bit of the discussion and debrief there. But I'll sign out for us. So everyone, thank you very much for tuning in to Formula Racing League. This has been Chaos with Cub, our co-casting duo. And thank you very much for tuning in. We're going to be getting together again on Thursday for a community night, same time. So feel free to drop in if you'd like to. We accept all skills and all types, just so long as you're considerate and like having some fun, clean racing with other people. So once again, this has been Chaos for Cup, signing out.